Hello, this is Bill. Welcome. In this video, you'll learn how to save and print SVG images. SVG stands for Scalable Vector Graphics. What makes these images so attractive is they can be resized to any dimension without loss of quality. I'll start off showing you how to simply print an SVG image using a browser, but keep watching this video until I cover Adobe Photoshop. I think that really illustrates how powerful this format is. Okay, well, let's assume you're surfing here on the web and you're coming across some pattern stencil templates here, and you can see the various formats. I got JPEG, PNG, PDF, and in this video I'll be covering SVG. I'm using Google Chrome, but probably the easiest way to print them would be to simply press on the SVG format, and here is the image. Now if I want to get a hard copy, a printout, I can press on the three dots, and again I'm in Google Chrome. All the browsers are going to have this capability. I'm now going to tell you what, before doing that, here's what you might be inclined to do, is simply increase or decrease the zoom, but that's only going to affect it on your monitor, on your display. If you want the hard copy to be either smaller or larger, what you're going to want to do is press on the print. Here's my print preview. Well, one of the first things here, when looking at this here particular pattern, it looks a little bit wider than it is in height. So I'm going to come here and change this from portrait to landscape. I'm now going to come on down here to more settings. And again, I'm in Google Chrome, so it's going to be a little bit different depending on your browser. And rather than being 75%, I could go ahead and get up to maybe 100%. Or maybe I can go all the way to, like, say 150 or so. And then I would simply hit print. Okay, that's one way. That's probably the easiest way to print an SVG image. Let me hit cancel, and I'll come back to this. And I'm actually going to back up one more step. Okay, so that's one way of printing. Now let me go ahead and show you. Here's I've got a, let me go ahead and delete this one. I've got a temp, so you can see this folder is currently empty. I'm now going to go ahead and simply right-click on the SVG format. Right-click. I'm going to go Save Link As, and I'm going to save that into, I've got a temporary directory, a temp, on the desktop, and I'll just go ahead and press Save. Okay, now if I come over here to my a temp, I can see this family lower pattern stencil. Okay, one way I can do it is just like I did a second ago. I could go Open With, and I could choose Google Chrome, Firefox, any browser. Now I'll tell you what, let me just run through this really quick. I'll go Google Chrome, and that opened up over here. Let me drag this into the screen recording. And just like I did a second ago, I could come along and hit print. Okay, another option would be to use Adobe Photoshop, and I'm also going to show you how to use Inkscape, which is free. So Adobe Photoshop may cost a little bit depending on, I'm not sure what the price there is, but here, let me show you there. I'm going to choose, that was a right click. Let me do that one more time. Right click. I'm going to go Open With, and I'm going to choose Adobe Photoshop, and that's the Creative Cloud there. Okay, well, what I can see is right away when I try to open it, I get to specify the width, the height, and the resolution. So if I wanted to, I could just go ahead and press OK here, and I could see that's at 50%. So I could zoom in a little bit here to 100%. And so again, if I came up here to image, I went to image size, I can see sure enough it's the resolution is 72, the width and the height. Okay, well, let me close this, and now save changes. No. Now let me repeat that exact same process. I'm going to right click, I'm going to go Open With, and I'm going to go Adobe Photoshop. Again, I get to change these values. So if I want, let's assume I want to create a really high quality printout. Maybe I even go 600 resolution, but a lot of printers probably 300 is going to be adequate. And maybe I want to go 200 on the height, or 2000 on the height, and a little over, and I can see I've got constrained proportions turned on. So if I change the height, the width is automatically going to be resized. So again, I got to choose the resolution. So now I'm going to press OK. And now if I take a look at this same image, now I'm at 16.7%, but if I come up here to image and I choose image size, I can see the resolution is 300, and here's the width and the height. So in this particular case, I'm kind of taking a look up here. I can just keep on zooming in here and getting that high quality there, and in the event I want to print that out. Okay, well, let me close this, and one last way, and this is going to be Adobe Photoshop. That's not free. I'm not sure how much that software is, maybe $10–20 a month on some of their licensing agreements there. Here's another way. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to go open with, and this is free software. So if you wanted to, you could download the free open source software Inkscape, which is for editing vector graphics. And we'll see how long this takes here. And here we go. One of the first things you'd want to do is, at this point I could just come up here and File and hit Print. But what you would probably want to do is go to Document Properties, and you would specify, maybe I would choose, I can see I've already got Landscape turned on. You would want to choose maybe your paper size. Let me see if I can close this here and come over here. Okay, at this point I can resize this image to fit the piece of paper, and you'd want to hold the Control and the Shift button down while you resize that to make sure it constrains that correctly there. And then I can just go ahead and kind of position that. I'm just using the arrow keys on the keyboard, get that within the size of the paper that I have specified, and then I could just come up here and hit File and Print. So again, Inkscape is free. There is a fee for Adobe Photoshop, but probably one of the easiest ways is to simply print it right from your browser there. Well, hopefully in this video you'll learn how to print and save SVG images. Thank you. Bye.